So, quick question for you. How many of you think that what you're doing at school is not truly making you achieve your full potential, and you've got like more in you than what the school system really is inculcating in you or developing in you? Probably many of you said yes. So, let's talk about grades and why they are so much a hype in the education system, both in school and outside of school as well. Well, the whole situation starts off with the fact that you go to school, and mainly what they're teaching you is all about logical stuff, math, physics, chem. And many of you probably think that, oh, where the heck am I going to apply this in daily life? You come home, parents say the same thing. Hey, Abu Bakr, hey, Johnny, get good grades. Don't get a bad grade or you kicked out of the house. But what for, dude? Why do I need to get high grades? Is that everything? Or basically, do I need to do more? And now the problem is that mostly this leads to a polarity situation. On one end of the spectrum, you've got these people freaking out, putting in a lot of work, and crying if they get a B and not got an A, and literally getting straight A's. The other end of the extreme, you've got people like Johnny who are getting a D or a C or a U, and they're stuck in a retake loop. The point then is that who of this is doing better? Because I've seen Johnny's, I've seen Abu Bakr's, and I've seen both of them in trouble when they step out of school. Now you've got to analyze that if you look at people who are really successful, let's take some classic examples. People like Mark Zuckerberg, people like Bill Gates, popularly known as dropouts. But the problem is that they drop out only of the mainstream education system. They, number one, never stop learning. They continue to develop skills. They continue to invest in themselves. You can always read a book. You don't need to be in school to do that. So these guys, they are really good at selling, marketing, investing, dealing with people, all of which are skills. Dealing with failure, all of these are skills which you need to be truly successful in life. And many people don't really develop these skills, and they just go to the school, go after good grades, and after good grades they go after good universities, see the ranking chart of the university. I want to get to the top university in the world. And then they are after employers. I'm gonna go to the biggest firms in the world, you're gonna pay me a lot, and I'm gonna be a rich man, without really thinking that there are gonna be many of you or people like you there working for these big firms, and all you're doing is making money for those who own the investment shares or are the owners of the business. You're really making them grow rich with all the skills that you've developed. So keep in mind that I'm not saying that it's bad to be an employee. You can be a great employee, add to a big team, and contribute to its growth. There are many examples of big employees in the world who have made a name for themselves. Look at the CEO of Apple, look at the former CEOs of Microsoft, and so on. There are good employees who really contributed a lot to the teams of big businesses around the world. But what I'm saying is that just going after grades and missing these other aspects isn't going to help you go through this journey known as life. And the school system doesn't do a good job in covering the other aspects. And when you go out of school, you are then left with basically a situation where you have nothing to show except of your education. And you get stuck. Many people are stuck in a loop of employment where they are searching for jobs or not satisfied with what they're doing, and basically problems in the 20s just spike up a lot, and you're like, well, I was better off in school. The better days were the days when I was in school. When you're in school, basically those days are supposed to be an investment phase. It's not the best phase of your life. The best phase comes in later. The older you get, the more the best phase kicks in. So if you think that the school days were the best, you've done something seriously wrong with your life. So what I want you to know is that the mainstream school system was never designed for your personal development. Look at the 20th century, the time of Henry Ford, great guy, by the way, amazing person who knew how to deal with people, billionaire, and one of the richest people of his generation, even today. But during that Fordism era, where factories and assembly line production was growing and you needed employees to work in teams, specialization, specific tasks to be done, the school system served as a, you can say, a ground to prepare people who could really come in, follow the rules, and get the work done. And the school system never really focused on developing people who could deal with failure, who could deal with humans. Remember that majority of the success in your life ain't gonna come because of your grades. It's gonna come because of the way you deal with people, the way you manage your money, the way you sell to others, and basically the way you manage your own failures. That's where most of the success is, on the emotional side, not on the logical side, the way you're trained to do in school. So I'm not saying that the school system is bad. Yes, you need a schooling. You should be going after good grades. A grade is like a spec. Good grades are good specification. But when you buy a phone, you don't just look at the specs. You look at many other features of it: design, size, so many other things you look at. Not just basically the specs of the phone. Have a great phone with a great spec in it, great specifications, but ugly design, you probably won't want to buy it unless you really needed those specifications for a specific purpose. So to make up for that, basically my focus is that students should get not just that mainstream education and good marketable grades with which they can really market their skills on paper, because grades shout that you've got something in you. Your grades show that you've got the ability to get the job done. But I want the other aspects which mainstream schooling doesn't really focus on to be polished. That's why we have both the things. You have the ability to get prepared for any subject, no matter how poor you were in a particular subject. I know that you can get a high grade, and I help you do that. But on the other side, the mentor program is for those students who really understand the value of investing in themselves during these years, so that the rest of their life is going to change forever. Let me tell you, and mark my words, for those of you who have taken both of my classes, the mentor program and the other lectures, 20, 30 years from now, you will look back at them and say that they changed your life, and especially the mentor program, because the skills you learned over there made you ace your teenage, made you ace your early 20s. That's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the youth, the teenagers, the early 20s, university guys. I want you to do as highly as possible. Remember that you can always help more people being a rich guy than you can being a poor guy. You've got to be rich to help more people. Don't be selfish. If you say that, oh no, I'm okay with a small amount of money. Money is evil, man. I don't want more money. I'm okay with a small amount of money that I make. Then you're selfish, basically, because you can always help more people around you, more people in the world, being a rich guy than being a poor guy or being a mediocre guy. I want you to hit your max potential. So many of you have so many things hidden inside you that you've never been introduced to. Really, stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself. There's so many things about this guy that you're seeing or girl you're seeing that you even don't know. And sometimes it takes a mentor to bring those things out. Every great team, every great athlete in the world has a coach, because they know that I'll have blind spots in different situations in my life, and I don't want to achieve less because I had blind spots. The coach is there to help you overcome those blind spots and also to help you get the right kind of skills. It's not all about delivering the skills, it's also sometimes about pointing you towards directions which can change your life. That is my goal, and when I did 50 subjects in OA levels for the first time, I wasn't really thinking about the grades alone. Otherwise, I could have done 100 subjects as well. Like some people often say that if we go after subjects and take on some extra subjects and get some extra grades, probably success is guaranteed. But that's not the case, really. It's not about the most grades. It's not about, you can say, the best university in the world. You are the best university in the world. You are the best product in the world, and you are ignoring it because you're going after high grades, then after a high ranked university, then after a high ranked employer, and forgetting yourself in the process. Now, all of these things that I mentioned, it's not bad to target them, but they are the primary objective. The primary objective is this guy inside of you, who needs to be polished and who needs to be truly developed to reach their maximum potential and to really be the person that you are endowed with the potential to become. So sign up for the mentor program, sign up for the classes. The money that you give to Zuhair Basad Academies, like I always say, it's not the money that you give only to us, it's the money you give to yourself. You invest this into yourself. And one of the greatest investments that will continue to pay you back all through your life. You spend money on so many things, boom, it's gone. But the money you spend in yourself, It's gonna pay you back in greater volumes the more you go down the road of life in future years. And that's the money that you'll really be proud of. Teenage, early 20s is the time to invest in yourself. And I want you to make that investment for yourself. Take action now, take massive action. Don't think small, think big. Right? Think big. When I talk about doing 50 subjects in OA levels, don't think I'm crazy. Think about the fact that somebody thought big and went after that. For me, it was easy. I was never overwhelmed by that because I never thought it was a big target. You've got to think big. You've got to think so big that the targets that you want to achieve, once you've achieved them, feel really small compared to the thinking with which you target them. Most of you are making the mistake of not setting big objectives, but by not having a big enough mindset to achieve those objectives. See you in the next video.